Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. We've got the camera working again, got the cable fixed it, didn't want to have to buy a new one of those. We're here with another tactics video on a formation that I haven't talked about in quite a while, but always one of the best. And honestly, just most foundational formations you can have on FIFA or EAFC. 4-2-3-1. Very basic, good formation. So as always, I'll talk you through each position, the type of players you want in it. I'll talk you through my tactics, explain why I've set them up, how they are. I'll show you the instructions, just say a bit about how you should use the formation in general. As a side note, whenever I do these tactics videos, they're always tested throughout the year. If I'm doing a new one, it's quite often at this point going to be pretty similar, but I'll play at least a few games in Rivals to test it out, see if anything feels different about it. And of course, if you ever have any questions or any formations you would like to see me talk about, please do let me know. And as a side note, this is not an advert or anything, I'm very excited for it. Has anyone ever played the old Top Spin tennis games? 2K recently announced that they're releasing a new one. They've announced it's coming out at the end of April, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I might end up streaming some of that. Could be fun, especially if they do like their NBA games. But let's get to the formation, the tactic. That's what you guys are here for. As always, we have two variations, a defensive and an attacking. I do this so I can in-game switch to a more aggressive one if I have to. The defensive one, as I always say, it's not defensive. It's just an alternate. It's just an option that the game calls it. Though I would just call it 1-2-3-4 if it was me. But anyway, the defensive is why I start the game in. So for me, it's we'll go through it in a minute properly, but it's what I can start a game in and play in the whole game. Are you sick to death of getting out teamed on FC24? Want that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out IGGM.com today, the best and most reliable place to get coins for your ultimate team. Use the link in the description and code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out IGGM.com today. Really, if it's comfortable. The attacking one's one that I might switch to if I'm a goal or two down and need to get back into it. So, 4-2-3-1. What makes it so good? Well, the first thing you can see is it covers a lot of areas of the pitch. Possession is a lot easier to keep when you've got players spread about. Not spread about so far there's a massive gap. So the biggest weakness maybe with like the 4-4-2 is the gap between the midfielders and the strikers can be quite big. You don't get the two strikers in this formation, which is probably its only major weakness, but the gap between them isn't too big, so in turn, it's pretty easy to build up. The attacking patterns in this formation are fairly obvious. You play between the front four and then you can get the midfield involved. The cam is probably the most important player in this team, so for me, I put my best attacker in there, Cole Palmer. Helps as well that he's pretty good defensively. I like to get my cam to come back on defense. So when you do that, it does allow them, if they've got good defending, to contribute a bit more in that way, especially if they've got good work rates. You need pace out wide. Pace out wide will absolutely rip people apart in this formation. If you don't have the pace out wide, you will struggle at times. It's not like real football where Man City often play a formation like this and then have Bernardo Silva out wide. Yeah, on this game, you're just not going to break people down anywhere near as much if you can't get in behind. So it's not, whilst it's a very popular formation in real life, this game doesn't really reflect real life very well. I do love having players with finesse shot in the middle. It means you can take one touch and then just hit it and you're dangerous from anywhere. 5-star weak foot for the central players is really big. Whip pass on the outside cams can be pretty useful. It's not a formation necessarily that I'm spamming crosses in, but it's always nice to have that threat there. And then from deep, I do love players who've got long ball or pinged pass. Xavi has both. Hullet definitely has normal long ball, but Xavi has the long ball plus and 5-star weak foot. So having that on someone who can just get the ball, spin and do whatever he wants from there is really nice. Again, 5-star weak foots are nice in the midfield to be able to build up transition. Fullbacks who can overlap and attack. That's really useful. You don't have to have really attack-minded fullbacks in this formation, but on this game, it's always a plus, in my opinion. But honestly, really good solid formation. You get a lot of people behind the ball, so it's very hard to break it down. If someone knows what they're doing defensively, you can keep the ball very well. The long shot options are very good with a cam and 2 outside cams. The defensive structure is very good with the 5 midfielders, 2 CDMs covering the back 4. Like I said, the only real weakness is the lack of 2 strikers, which can make the build-up a bit hard at times. You can't counter quite as quick. And the only way this formation is pretty good at counter-attacking is to leave the cams on, stay forward, but then you lose the main strengths of possession and the defensive shape, really. So the way I set it up, I use something very similar on most formations, to be honest. It's not often I change this bit up too much. Balanced, 40 width, 55 depth. For the attacking play, balanced, direct passing, 60 width. I go quite wide in this formation because I think that's where a lot of the strength in the build-up is. 60 width makes it pretty hard for people to get the ball off you if you use that width properly. And then you use the width, you pull men out there, and then it makes gaps elsewhere. Direct passing works very well at pinning teams back. If you feel like you're struggling though in the sense of it's too direct at times and you're not keeping the ball properly, you can go to balanced. So have a quick drink. For the striker, I have them on stay forward, stay central. In a formation that lacks 2 strikers, you need that focal point, someone who's going to get forward a lot more. It's really big to have someone good up front on this. I think this formation needs a really good striker and cam more than most. For the cam, they're on comeback on defense. My outside cams are on that as well. We will change that up though in the more aggressive one. I have stay back while attacking, cut passing lanes, cover centre on both CDMs in this formation. That's pretty important for keeping the shape. You will let them get forward a bit though with 1-2s and just dragging them forwards anyway, so it's not really defensive. Then stay back, overlap on the fullbacks. This means that only one will tend to go up whichever side you're attacking on. It does give you a bit more of an outlet, but you keep your shape. The more attacking one, as always, in a lot of my formations, I just up the depth, up the press. So balance to press after possession loss and 71 depth makes a big difference. You're just going to be a lot more aggressive when you lose the ball. It's going to be a lot harder for people to keep the ball off of you. 55 width instead of 60. I just lower it ever so slightly to make it so we're a bit more direct, making a bit more through the middle. Keep the same instructions on the striker. The cam I put on basic instead of come back. That makes the difference. He's a little bit more direct, saves a bit more stamina, is going to be a bit more attacking. I still keep come back on defense on the outside cams, but I put get into the box across. Honestly, for the most part, this just makes them make more runs in behind, so they're just a bit more direct. If you feel like you're not getting enough out of an attack, you can go basic or stay forward in the more aggressive one, but it will hurt your defence a lot. I take stay back off on the CDM and put them on balance, just so they're getting a lot more attacking. I do keep one on stay back though, so put your more attack-minded one as the balanced, and then I keep the exact same for the rest of them. Like I say, love this formation. A lot to really like about it. Very hard to play against if people know what they're doing. Hopefully this video will help you out. Let me know how you find the tactics. Appreciate you guys. As always, keep it spicy. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.